In a dramatic legal showdown that underscores the ongoing clash between free speech and immigration enforcement, a federal judge in Manhattan has ruled that Columbia University student Yunseo Chung cannot be detained as she fights deportation. Welcome to In the Know News, where we bring you the latest in-depth coverage of critical issues shaping our world. This case has sparked national debate as Chung, a 21-year-old green card holder who has lived in the United States since childhood, finds herself at the center of an intense legal battle. Chung's troubles began when she participated in a Gaza solidarity protest at Barnard College, affiliated with Columbia University. After being arrested during a sit-in and receiving a citation for obstruction of governmental administration, a common charge among protesters, the Trump administration moved swiftly to revoke her legal permanent residency status and initiate deportation proceedings. In response, Chung filed a lawsuit on Monday, asserting that the government's actions were a blatant attempt to silence political dissent through immigration enforcement. Presiding over the case, U.S. District Judge Naomi Rice Buchwald ruled that immigration authorities had failed to provide sufficient grounds for detaining Chung and granted her request for a temporary restraining order. This decision prevents the government from transferring her outside the jurisdiction of the Southern District of New York. In her ruling, Buchwald made it clear that the government's aggressive stance would not go unchecked, pointedly stating, "No trips to Louisiana here," referring to a detention center where many immigration detainees are held. This legal battle is unfolding against a broader backdrop of crackdowns on pro-Palestinian student activists across the United States. The Trump administration has been scrutinizing colleges and universities for their handling of protests, cutting funding, and threatening to revoke grants from institutions it claims have failed to prevent anti-Semitism. Earlier this month, the administration canceled $400 million in grants to Columbia University, despite the school having already suspended pro-Palestinian student groups and facilitated arrests. Chung's case is not an isolated incident. The government is also pursuing the deportation of Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian activist and Columbia graduate who has not been charged with any crime. Khalil was arrested in his university-owned apartment in front of his pregnant wife and later transferred to a detention facility in Louisiana. The targeting of green card holders for their participation in protests has ignited backlash from civil liberties organizations and immigration advocates, who argue that these actions represent a dangerous encroachment on constitutional rights. Chung's lawsuit, filed by the Clear Legal Clinic at the City University of New York School of Law, describes a series of alarming actions by immigration officials. The day after her arrest, ICE agents appeared at her parents' home. Soon after, her attorney was informed that her green card status was being revoked. Federal agents also conducted search warrants at 2 Columbia University residences, including her dormitory, allegedly in pursuit of documents related to her, despite the warrant being directed at the institution rather than her personally. These events, her lawyers argue, demonstrate a targeted effort to punish her for exercising her right to free speech. Jordan Wells, a senior attorney at the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights of the San Francisco Bay Area, which is also representing Chung, hailed the judge's ruling as a crucial victory for constitutional freedoms. May the day never come when the Secretary of State is allowed to single out a college student for banishment from the United States because of political protest. At the very least, we are relieved on behalf of our client that day is not today, Wells stated. The Department of Homeland Security, meanwhile, has justified its actions by citing Chung's arrest at the protest as concerning conduct. However, the agency has not provided further details following the judge's ruling. Critics argue that the government's justification is flimsy at best and an outright abuse of power at worst. Chung, a junior at Columbia, has been an engaged member of the university community, contributing to the campus literary magazine and undergraduate law journal. She was also valedictorian of her high school. Her case raises profound questions about the intersection of immigration policy and First Amendment rights, with broader implications for students and activists nationwide. As the legal battle continues, the spotlight remains on the Trump administration's handling of immigration enforcement and political expression. Will this case set a precedent for how far the government can go in using immigration status as a tool for political suppression? Or will the judiciary continue to push back against what many see as an overreach of executive power? For now, Chung remains in the only country she has ever truly known, fighting to stay in a nation that prides itself on the freedoms she has sought to exercise. This has been In the Know News, bringing you critical stories that matter. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time.